I'm assuming that most of us have led a dorm before. I think there's probably a couple of us who haven't. Do you guys actually enjoy leading dorms? Hands up if you enjoy leading a dorm. I'm seeing some not hands up. Maybe that's for people who haven't led a dorm. That's okay. Does anyone want to share any experiences they've had? Good, bad, ugly? Leading dorms?
My bad story.
Your what story?
My bad story.
Oh yeah?
I lost my pillow. Guys, where's my pillow gone? They're like, you threw it at us and yelled at us to be quiet.
Okay.
That's a good example of not to do the dorm leader.
Yeah, sometimes you have kids that you want to yell at. Yeah. Anyone had any other experiences?
A good one.
Can be a good one.
Where, we all just went around the room saying what we were really had one highlight from the day.
That's cool.
One thing we're looking forward to, and then we all prayed around the room. Yeah, and they're all engaged in it as well. So it's just sort of like
Great.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then we got back to making jokes and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Similar to Jesse, Nick and I had a group like that at summer camp. Best dorm we ever had. Like they were just relating really well to each other. They were willing to share every day, willing to pray for one another, willing to reflect, and it was just outstanding. A real blessing to both of us as leaders.
That's awesome.
And they behaved.
Yeah, that's good. That doesn't always happen. So my first time dorm leading, I was like in tears for the first night, and I had year 7 girls, and they were like, they were so noisy. It's probably a taste of my own medicine, but I was like crying, and I'm really bad at like confrontation, especially like with kids. So I wanted to be their best friend, so I couldn't tell them off. So I had to get someone else to come in, do the telling off, and then I went back in afterwards. But no, since then, dorm leading has become a real highlight for me. You just get time with these kids, you get to hang out with them, spend time at the end of the day, having a chat. What do you guys think is the point of dorm leaders? What's our role as dorm leaders, do you think? You'd know this if you've done your pre-reading. What do you guys, it's okay, you don't have to get the exact wording of what was in the job description that Naomi sent out. Guide, sorry, what? Conversations, yep. Bit broader than that though. What do you think our aim as dorm leaders is? Conversation's definitely part of that.
Help build relationships between the campers in the dorm and connect them also with what's happened through the day and help them think it through.
Yeah, definitely. Building relationships between the campers, debriefing on the day. Anything else? Pretty similar to that.
Being a good example to them.
Being a good example to them, yep. Yeah, you could summarise it, I've got it here, it's in your book actually, that we've got, page 6, How to Dorm Lead. Building relationships with between the campers, but also between us and the campers. It's kind of a unique part of the day because all throughout the day we're like, go, go, go. And in your study groups, it's not like you've got heaps of one-on-one time to debrief and reflect with campers. Here is when you actually can build those deeper relationships with the 4 or however many people are in, it might be more actually, can't remember this campsite, are in our dorms. So why do you think that's important? Why is it important to build relationships between the campers and with the campers? Why is that actually important? What do we hope to achieve out of that?
Grow their faith. What was it?
To grow their faith? Yep, maybe they'll ask questions, maybe you have some good conversations. Anything else? Why is it?
Alleviate homesickness for some.
Yeah. Yep, if some people are feeling homesick. Anything
There's
else?
also a sense that kids are safest when they have a group of friends around them, a group of other peers who will befriend them.
Yep.
And building those relationships, that's a really important part there.
Yep. Another part of that, building relationships between campers, is it's cool if you come to camp with heaps of friends from your church, but some people won't. So if they can build friendships with the people in their dorm, that's a great thing. They'll see them again next camp, or they'll catch up between camps. Anything else?
The best conversations happen at night.
Yeah. Probably the best and worst, but yeah. Yep, that's true. Time for good conversations, debriefing on the day. You can find out kind of really what's going on with them sometimes. So we've got an hour, is that right? Each on the 2 nights. So from 9:30 p.m. we'll be in our dorms. And I believe last year you started doing dorm times. So I want us to have a bit of a brainstorm around things that we can do in this time we have in our dorms to help build that community between our campers and with the campers. Does anyone want to share what they did last year or things that they've done in the past? And as Jessie talked about prayer time, that's a really great thing to do. But there are also lots of other ways, depending on the kids in your dorms and depending on your strengths and weaknesses, that you can build community. So does anyone have any things that they'd like to share?
Can you just repeat what people do say?
Yes, can do. Yep.
Even though I haven't done it before, what I'm about to say before, games.
Games, yep. What type of games do you think?
Not loud games.
Not loud games. Not loud games. Yes. Lolly games. Yep. For good.
Or maybe
Yep.
not lolly games because otherwise I'll be up all night.
Yeah, look, I don't think you'll be able to stop lollies from entering into your room. So probably just embrace it, but also maybe try to limit the intake. Depending on the age of your dorms as well. Yep, so maybe some snacks, some games. What type of games do you think you could do? We don't have a radio show or anything, so there won't be anything like that. Hey, let's play. Yeah, what's that game you play when you get everyone to lie on the ground and fall asleep? Yeah, dead fish. Any other thoughts? Any games?
A few years ago, some guys in our cabin did a parkour challenge where we needed to jump on everything.
I'm not going to condone everything, but if you do that quietly and don't break any bones, then cool. Yep. So for the guys, do we have to stay in our dorms? Is that a thing? Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking of summer camp where some of the guys played some hallway cricket and stuff. It just depends a bit on the layout and the vibe of the camp and the guys, yep. So maybe some sort of games, maybe card games. That's probably something that I would go to. Maybe it is it could be like a phone game that everyone has on their phone, just being careful not to exclude people.
If in this time, is it only our dorm or can some other guys come into our dorm and hang together? To play cards?
Which as long as you're not leading one person in the other dorm or one person and a leader in the other dorm, the dorm time is specifically for you to connect with your dorm team.
Okay.
Rather than going next door because that's party central.
Yeah. Yep. Another thing some people have done, and this won't be up everyone's alley, is to write warm fuzzies to each other. At the end of each day, just taking the time to write something nice about the other person, maybe something you saw them do throughout the day, or maybe just something that you've gotten to know about them. We're all laughing, but it actually can be really nice. Any other thoughts? Things you can do within your dorm? You can decorate your dorm. Has anyone ever decorated the dorm?
They did a decorating competition on East Camp a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's cool. What do people do?
They bribed the judges.
Okay, besides bribing the judges.
Yeah, tidiness and working on tidiness, working on they were given specific things to design and materials to use. So.
Okay, yep, so some sort of decorating competition.
Vegemite masks.
Not Vegemite masks. I think I remember that. Yeah, from.
Years ago at summer camp.
Yeah.
It was jam one night, Vegemite the next, butter another night.
All right, maybe not. So basically, it'd just be good to come to camp with a couple of ideas. You won't know exactly what age group you have, I don't think. You know that you will have girls or guys, depending on what you are. And just come to camp equipped with a couple of things up your sleeve to suggest to do that night, or both those nights. And in our job descriptions, it actually says it's a responsibility. Oh no, it doesn't actually. I was going to say, it's a really great thing just to make practice of praying with your campers each night. And lots of them will volunteer that. I've had dorms where they're like, can we pray now? And I'm like, oh yeah, we should do that. And it'd just be a really great thing to do. But you also don't have to you don't have to restrict dorm time to your dorm. Think about maybe having dinner with the people in your dorm, or lunch, or breakfast. Think about maybe, that's probably like one of the ways that I've done it before. I've had a meal with the girls in my dorm, and that's just kind of another thing that you can do throughout the day, so that come nighttime, they've already built up a bit of those relationships and are more likely to have some good chats with each other, and ask each other how they're going, and be willing to pray together. So I guess in terms of what else is part of your role as a dorm leader, you can find that all on page 6 of this other training booklet. We've got 2. This is the how-to booklet. So if you can have a read of that, and that kind of goes through what your responsibilities are. One thing to note, you might get a super easy dorm. Fantastic, they all go to bed, that's great. You might get a really difficult dorm where they're just bouncing off the walls, and you'll feel like you're a bit out of control. You're not alone, so there's lots of support available. The camp parents and the chaplains, I think, will be roaming around. Is that more of a camp parent job? I can never remember who. Yeah, it might be camp parents more. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help. If you do have to go and find a camp parent or a chaplain or someone to help you, get the person next door to keep an eye on your dorm at the same time, just so they're not running riot. The buck doesn't stop with you. Just remember those safe church things as well that Brian talked about. Don't be alone don't be alone with just one other camper in the room. Yes, any?
Another thing to add, with the praying, do it confidently as well. Don't sort of go, say we're all going to pray now and guide that. And if they're making jokes that aren't appropriate or the conversations aren't helpful, be the one to stamp those out straight away. I guess don't get caught into, if they're making jokes about others, don't do it as well yourself. They'll get more laughs.
So you can set expectations for your dorm, what you will and won't talk about, being a good example, and also confidently saying each night we're going to have a prayer time. That's really good. And pray that you get a good dorm.